since the October 7th massacre, there has been an alarming rise in anti-Semitism around the world, especially on American college campuses. Now, one content creator has taken it upon himself to go to these universities and speak to students on the ground, using his quick wit and humor to open a dialogue and confront some of the misconceptions and fake news about Israel. Here's one of the most recent videos from comedian Zach Sage Fox.
Motions to his pants and is like, I have a gun.
He was planning to shoot up and bomb my home.
I literally got spit on. He goes, that's for being a Zionist.
Hello and welcome to Gaza Graduation Part 2. Today we flip the script and see how the lies spread about Jews and the Jewish state have affected Jewish students on campus. Tell me a little bit about some of the Jew hatred that you guys have experienced this year.
During the school year, I took a photography class, and this one girl, I will never forget this, the photo that she chose to put up, people burning baby dolls that were redheads that I assume were the Bibas twins, and my teacher said verbatim, this is the most majestic photo I've seen in my 25 years of teaching.
Oh my God. That was your professor?
Yes, and this was before any Israeli retaliation, October 8th.
Well, with me now in studio is comic, activist, and media CEO Zach Sage Fox. Zach, thank you for being with us here on The Rundown this evening.
Yeah,
now,
thank you so much for having me.
I've been watching your videos really since October 7th. Since the past 16 months now, you've really taken social media by storm, and you've been truly on the front lines fighting this anti-Semitism that has been brewing on college campuses. This most recent video that we just watched.
Shocking, right?
It is shocking. Even after you, someone to say that it's shocking, someone who's been to 20 plus universities.
Yeah, it was shocking to just gather these students around in a circle, and these are all like Jewish leaders from the top like 10, 15 schools in the country, and it's just insane what they're dealing with. I'm not that old, I just turned 30, so it's like I think about what campus was like for me. I went to an Ivy League college, I went to UPenn. But no, I'm saying that because it's a school now that is ridden with anti-Semitism. I actually went back to the encampment last year, and it was horrific to the point where I brought lawyers as part of the video for comedy purposes, but also because I was being blocked just for wearing a visibly Jewish star on my own campus, my own former alma mater.
Wow.
And the fact that it had taken such a sharp turn in just a few years from when I graduated, it really just put a fire under me to just go to these universities. And I was just like, if the American news, which really has shielded most of America from the true reality of what's happening in this situation, I was just like, at a certain point, if they're not going to bring the facts to these young people, and TikTok is going to suppress my videos, which even with millions of followers, were all getting suppressed one by one by one on TikTok in a way they weren't on other algorithms.
So your videos were not getting the same amount of coverage. Some of them were being blocked?
The second I started talking about Israel, plummeted. So it really shocked me, and I just felt like I needed to get the facts out there. And then luckily, Instagram is really where my videos, they have problems. I got shadow banned last week. Mark Zuckerberg, if he's watching this, he has work to do, because we're at a point now where TikTok really suppresses anything that's pro-Israel, pro-Western, essentially. It's, I think, less Jewish targeted than anything that's supporting the West and truth about Western values, which Israel is really the epitome of. But even on Instagram, there's issues too right now. Particularly one of the things I'm trying to bring awareness to is showing the world these images of Hamas's child abuse against the Palestinian children, making them hold machete guns and start fighting with Hamas commanders as early as 7, 8 years old. We're seeing it in the videos they're posting. The American news will not show you it, and Instagram is shadow banning me for trying to get those images out.
And when you show people on these college campuses some of these images, what are you being met with? Is it mainly ignorance that you're seeing on these college campuses, or is it true hatred?
Yeah, it's actually two things, really simple. So when you bring people the facts, they either do two things. Either they walk away, sometimes maybe they'll stay and they'll entertain it for a second, but I'm really calm. Like, I'm not a yeller. I'm not Charlie Kirk. So, I'm not Ben Shapiro. Like, I'm not here to scream at people and get my point out. I'm genuinely trying to understand how they think, and if I present them with different set of facts, how they're going to react. And so either people will be very angry and walk away, and you see it on video. They don't want to confront the truth, but you do get a good amount of kids who genuinely didn't know Israel left Gaza in 2005, genuinely didn't know that it's the only place you can be openly gay in the Middle East, that there's no apartheid. Like, they don't know. And so sometimes you actually meet really good kids with good intentions, but my big pointing of the finger to them is always, why did you go out here and support something with flags, with shirts, with your time and energy?
Not knowing the message that they're standing behind.
They're just not looking it up. Why didn't you look up anything? Like, there is no apartheid in Gaza before. So like, why didn't you look that up?
Well, what about the backlash backlash that you have faced then, Zach? Because it's not easy going to those college campuses.
Yeah. I'm lucky. You know, I think Jewish women speaking out, I genuinely see this. I actually think they get a lot more hate and backlash in general. And it's not that I don't get it, but I've been relatively lucky. I get so much more love and fan mail from Jews all around the world. And not just fan mail. Fan mail is not the right word. It's like they share their stories with me. And I just post about this. I get hundreds, sometimes on a day with a big video, thousands of DMs from Jews telling me about all the anti-Semitism happening all around the world, from Australia to Europe, from parts of Asia. And so it's become this thing where, yes, there's negative that I've had to face, but I have so much love being pushed my way by my own people, by the Jewish people, the people who were always my community. But now I feel like I've become a larger voice for them. And so it gives me a power and a promise that I can make to my followers in a way that, even though there are more negative ramifications, my life is so much more fulfilling than it was before 10/7, even though it's harder in other ways too.
It's amazing to hear that, and I'm sure it's important for these people to know that there is someone like you advocating for them and really pointing to the problems that we are seeing, in not just these American college campuses, but like you mentioned, really all over the world.
And we
right
need
now.
more Jews with followers from Hollywood. Like, if you have millions of followers, then you should be posting about the Holocaust-like victims coming out of Gaza right now. These pictures are horrific, and there are actors in Hollywood who have made movies about the Holocaust. They get on a stage accepting their Oscar. Never again. Again just happened, and they're silent.
And so that's why we need more people to be speaking out, just like you. Zach Sage Fox, thank you so much for being with us
Thank
and
you so
sharing
much.
more about your platform and your message right now.